fans of Axis and Allies, rejoice. One of the best and hardest to find versions of the game is finally back, and better than ever. To mark 40 years since the Larry Harris Big Blue Box Classic version first hit game tables around the world, Renegade Game Studios has just re-released Axis and Allies Anniversary Edition, and we just got a copy. Today we're going to crack open this big mamma jamma, talk about the differences between this one and the previous anniversary printings, and how this version differs from other Axis and Allies games. Oh, and if you're planning to take home the title of 2024 Axis and Allies World Champion, this is the game you'll be playing. Let's make it hot. Welcome to Board Game Nation. My name is Gary Blevins. Thank you so much for watching. I'm thrilled to finally have my hands on a copy of this game. I've played it many times, of course, but never actually owned a copy for myself. So thank you to our friends at Renegade Game Studios for sending us this copy for free, but still, all of the opinions are mine and mine alone. Also, the sponsor of today's video is actually Board Game Nation. We've got some very exciting news to share with the community, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. First, let's crack open the game that's set to decide the 2024 Axis and Allies World Champion. All right, here we go. Here is the box. It is not subtle. There's no doubt about that. Let's take a look at the back of this big mamma jamma. We've got the list of the game components over here. That's nice. And of course they added the Renegade badging down here. Let's see what she looks like on the inside. Plastic cracked. Let's see what we can get here. Okay, so we've got a little bit of cardboard here to protect the packaging. Is right there. Unpunched, beautiful. The standard two extra Renegade plastic bags is right on top, so that's handy. Their strategy guides, or their strategy games rather, from Renegade. Copy of the rule book. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit, but it is not glossy, which is fine, I think. And there's a list of components in there. That's cool. The different scenarios, so that's fun. And of course, all the credits on the back. Next, we have a lot of punch cards. All right, so we're gonna try to do this with some gentleness. We've got the battle board. Nope. Well, so much for that. And the production chart. These are black on the back. And we've got all the supply tokens, which are still single-sided in this version, but they're black on the back. I think that's how they were in the older versions. And more punch cards. So we've got setup charts for the different powers, and then these are the Victory City tokens, and some damage markers. Probably not stay. Oh, no, we got it. Well, at least for the moment. We're going to set these down over here. And the US broke free. That's what they do. This, I think, is the highlight of the packaging for this game for sure. Is this really very cool mural and all of the individual boxes that comes with it. I think that is really, really sharp. So if we pull one out, we can open it up. And we'll see that the American pieces are in here. They're sealed. Now, there's not extra, there's no plastic zip bags for these, of course, because it comes with its own storage container, so you can break them up into land, sea, and air units, or however it is that you want to do it, but each one of those are like that. We'll take a closer look at those smaller components here in just a minute, but that is how that fits in there, so that I think that's just very cool. This is actually a 3-part map that doesn't fold. They're actually 3 separate pieces. You know what? Let me clear this out of the way and we'll set the map out separately. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. Here are the 3 pieces of the map. Oh, one more plastic here. Put those over there for now. Perfect. And that is the map. I like that it's 3 separate pieces because then you don't have to worry about them bowing or anything like that. They will sometimes slide. I've seen people take clips and put them together here, but I don't really find that that's necessary for the most part. But I think it's a very cool map. I think the colors look really good. Obviously, we still have a little bit of red-green next to each other, which is not great for my red-green colorblind friends, but I do like the color and the fonts on this game. I think they're really clear and nice. But I think the map looks really good. I'm going to take another quick cut here and go ahead and punch everything, and I'll be right back. All right, we're back, and we've got everything laid out for you. We've got 6 setup charts. We've got the national production and the development chart, the battle board, of course the rule book. We've got the industrial complexes and the AA guns, which are not country specific in this game. They are capturable, so that's something to keep an eye out for. This one actually does come with paper IPCs, which is fun. Not many folks use them, but it's cool that they're there. This game does come with Victory City tokens for each city, so you can more easily keep track of who has what and be able to determine where the game actually is as you're moving along, so that's pretty cool. These are the Chinese infantry units. The Chinese can only build infantry. The game also comes with damage markers that are for damaged industrial complexes, so that's what those are in there for. And then we also have these tokens with the dollar signs on them, and these are to track the research and development, so that's what those guys are for. This game comes with 14 dice, 7 red, 7 black. Comes with red chips and gray chips, which we're accustomed to seeing no green in this version of the game. Each of the powers, of course, has 3 different trays in it. This is how I like to set them up, so that it's land units, air units with the roundels, and then the sea units. But of course, you can do that however you like. With everybody helping to get everything set up, it should take probably 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe, to go from this to this. All right, so this is the 1942 scenario setup, which should look a lot like Axis and Allies 1942 Second Edition. Some big differences, of course. The Italians are in the game, and they have a pretty sizable fleet there in the Mediterranean. That's a big deal. The Americans start with a bomber in the UK, which is interesting. They start with a weaker force in 53 than they do in 42 Second Edition. There's a fighter on Formosa, which I've never seen before. That's kind of fun. And there is an absence of an Anzac Navy down here, which makes it interesting for the Japanese, for sure. But they do get a fighter down here, so that should help. But yeah, I think it looks really great. All right, we've looked at the game, we've seen all the pieces. Now I'd like to share with you what I think might be one of the purest joys in all of board gaming, which is to actually put this game away and at the same time rebuild the mural that is the top of the storage containers. So before we put that back, I know my OCD friends are going crazy right now, but I want to show you, this is where these containers really shine, because we've got all the stuff inside for the power, and then we can close it up with the setup chart. Oh, you know, the other thing I forgot to show you is the back of these are actually useful. In some of the other Axis and Allies games, these are just blank, which seems like a waste, but they actually took advantage of it in this version of the game. So that you've got the unit stats and order of play and the different scenarios. So this is actually really helpful. So yeah. Let us finish our mural. There it goes. There you go. That's nice. That's nice. And then these guys will sit on top. Remember, this is 3 pieces. Fits in there quite nicely. And then we have the rule book and the different charts. The lid to this beast of a game. There you go. Let's talk about how Renegade's printing of the Anniversary Edition differs from previous printings. Actually, before we get into that, I want to share our exciting news.
In January of 2024, we produced a series of videos that walk through 4 different games of the first Axis and Allies World Championship, and the response to that series absolutely blew us away. If you haven't seen it, you can follow this link right here to check it out. We're thrilled to announce that we're doing it again, only bigger. In just a few weeks, we're heading back to Gen Con. Unfortunately, I won't be able to play this year because I'm going to be too busy working with my team to capture the game histories of 8 of the Axis and Allies World Championship matches, and the finals for the 1942 Second Edition tournament, the final for the North Africa tournament, and yes, the final for the Global tournament. Our goal is to use those game histories to build videos in the same basic style that blew the doors off in January. We're also planning to do the same thing for the World Championship finals for Acquire, Robo Rally, and Diplomacy. That last one is going to be especially interesting. Now, if you're excited about Board Game Nation bringing championship-level tabletop board game action to a screen near you, we need your help. In the next few weeks, we'll be activating the Join button, making it possible for you to become an official citizen of Board Game Nation. Your membership will give you early access to new videos, exclusive access to live streams with the top players in the game today, as well as loads of pictures and videos from the events themselves. Your membership fees will be used to cover the cost of travel, new equipment, and to support our amazing production team. It'll also help us put together the resources we need to fully build out our Find a Player project so that we can ramp up our ability to introduce players looking to connect. You can still rely on us, of course, for unboxing, how to play, and strategy videos. We're adding this new content because of the overwhelming response to our first series. As we're deciding what will actually be offered at the various membership levels, what would you like to see? And of course, thank you to everyone that's been with us over the past few years. We are thrilled about our next chapter, and we hope that you'll join us. Okay. Back to the video. So how does Renegade's printing of the Anniversary Edition differ from the previous printings? Well, I asked Renegade that very question, and here's what we learned. It looks like all of the changes to the map were cosmetic. Specifically, the Japanese emblems and border colors of Manchuria and Jiangsu were changed to reflect that they are originally Chinese territories, though they are still occupied by Japan at the start of the game. Also, Honolulu was moved to the correct island, and the spelling of Afghanistan was corrected. Other than that, I'm fairly certain that the map is the same. The box and rulebook have been updated with the Renegade badging, and while the rulebook has been reshuffled to allow for the addition of the FAQs, none of the official rules have actually changed in any way. So I've had a few people that were surprised when they discovered that the Anniversary Edition wasn't just some kind of deluxe version of the 1942 Second Edition game, but instead a version of the game with a number of very big differences. Now, we aren't going to cover all of them in this video, but here are the highlights of the differences between the 1942 Second Edition game and the Anniversary Edition. Obviously, the map is bigger and the layout is different. Italy is a playable power, and China has a number of special rules that make it a lot more involved in the game. The game offers 2 different scenarios, 1941 and 1942. The objectives are the same, but the setup and turn order is different depending on the scenario. The Anniversary Edition includes a stack of optional national objectives and research and development rules, though for speed, neither of those are used in tournament play. In fact, I'll put a link in the description to the current tournament rules. Here are a few other differences that can have a big impact on your strategic plans. Tanks have all the same values and abilities, but only cost 5 IPCs rather than the normal 6. AA guns will still stop a blitzing tank, but they are captured by attacking units rather than destroyed. Industrial complexes are defenseless. They do not have that built-in air defenses. They'll need to be defended by AA guns against bombing raids, or they will be easy pickings. As for strategy, even with all of those differences, I believe that most of the core strategies for 1942 Second Edition will hold up in the Anniversary Edition. Considering that the functionality of all of the units other than the AA guns remains the same, you should find that whatever battle math and logic that you've been using works the same here. The biggest difference is that with the addition of Italy as a separate power, the Axis now have 3 turns instead of 2. The Americans still go last, which is a huge advantage, especially in tournament play. But the creation of an option for a 1-2 punch in the European theater opens up a ton of strategic lines for the Axis. It'll be very interesting to see the strategies deployed at the World Championships this year. What do you think of the Anniversary Edition? Personally, I think this might be the best version of the game. My only gripe with the game is the size and shape of the box. It's a little hard to find a good spot for it on the average shelf. Still, it's definitely worth adding to your collection. I think it strikes just the right balance between complexity, strategic depth, and length of play. Global is great, but the playtime makes it hard to get everyone around a table to play without a month's worth of planning. I've actually started playing most Axis and Allies games with the tournament time limits. It just makes it a lot easier to get folks to come over and play when you can tell them when the game's going to be finished. Whatever your complexity and table time preferences, the Anniversary Edition is definitely the prettiest and most well put together Axis and Allies games in the 40-year history of the franchise, and we are thrilled that it is back in circulation. Make sure to let us know in the comments what you'd like to see in our brand new membership levels. Custom merch, discounts to events, player aids, faster answers to your comments. You want to be named in a video? What? We really want to get this right, so please let us know. Next up for us is North Africa. We just got an advanced copy and we cannot wait to share it with you. When that video is ready, it'll be right here. To see our coverage of the 2023 World Championship, here you go. For our latest bit of mayhem, right this way. And to make sure that you don't miss a thing, click here to subscribe. My name is Gary Blevins. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.